G'day guys, g'day BS Machine family. What an honour it is to be here with you guys today. I am Tommy Kendi and I'll be guiding you through this episode of the BS Machine. And what a beautiful day it is. I mean, you might be able to hear in my voice I'm a bit fluey. I've got a cold. I'm one of those people that is constantly yapping on about how I never get sick. And you know, when I see people around and whatever, they're like, "Oh, don't hug me. I've got a bit of a this," and I'm like, "Nah, come on, I'll hug ya. I don't get sick," and I got sick. There you go. But I usually don't. Like, I'm really good at not getting sick, and for whatever reason, I had to take a step back this week and sit back and just be fucking fluey. And just feel sorry for myself a bit. And it actually felt good. It felt good. I probably needed it. But anyway, who cares about me? We're talking about you guys. And well, not even you guys. We're just talking about life, aren't we? So, look, this episode, I did a little bit of research in myself. And what I'm really intrigued about is that when I'm confident in something, like even if they're super out there ideas, or if I'm feeling confident, like why the fuck do I feel confident about one thing and not another? So what creates confidence? And it's confidence is this sense of certainty. It's like this sense of like, oh, I know that if I go down this path, I'm going to get a good result. And I reckon that's confidence, where you're confident in yourself. And, you know, whether it's whatever it is, if you're like me and you've been practicing yoga for a long time, I'm confident in my practice because I know I can go there, I can do yoga and I can do all my little things and still grow and expand, but I'm confident in my practice. And my 10 or 12 years of practice really shows that. So I've put the work in. But also, what about, why do I have confidence in things that I haven't been doing for 10 or 12 years? Like, sometimes I get some crazy ass fucking ideas. And how come I can just get these ideas and have full confidence in some of them, and other ones I'm like, oh, nah, that's way too big. I'm not going out there, not going towards that one. So I'm talking today about, I'll share with you 3 no-brainers for confidence in your out there ideas. Let me read that again so I'm not being a dick. 3 no-brainers for your confidence in your out there ideas. And the reason this is so important, and if you're avid listeners to the BS Machine, I'm always talking about really going for and understanding your creativity, this creative genius that we all have within. And when we get these ideas, like, we have to, it's almost like our job to go for these ideas and at least give them a go, because they wouldn't be coming at you unless it's something that you're able to do. So I wanted to go through a few little steps here that might kick your ass into actually, first off, just getting confidence in going for your ideas, and that's ultimately the first part. And how do we create confidence, and how do we actually go for it? And so the first no-brainer, and I'm calling these no-brainers because ultimately it's not something that you have to sit down and fucking study, and you don't have to do a course, or you don't have to fucking get a coach or whatever. You can try these 3. They're literally no-brainers, and just see what they will do for you. And these 3 no-brainers, they're actually quite simple, but really all you have to do is just fucking do them. Anyway, well, that's the thing with most things, isn't it? You just got to fucking do it. Otherwise, you're not going to know what's going to happen. But anyway, the first part, and I'm just sort of taking apart what I do in my life with things that I'm confident about, but also what I do in my life with things that I'm not confident about and uncertain about. But how do I create certainty? How do I create confidence? And so the first no-brainer is feeling in to what you want. Because, I mean, I'll explain a little bit more by what that means, but you really have to feel into what it is you want. And this is the first thing. And I'll just assume that you've been in a situation before where you've got a creative idea, right? If you haven't been in that situation, I can't help you. But if you've been in the situation where you've got an idea, you've got this light bulb moment, and it's coming for you, and you're like, oh man, and you feel it in your body. And you're like, oh my God, that's such a fucking cool idea, whatever it might be. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Or it might be something, whatever it is, you know what I mean? When you get those light bulb moments, either you find a solution to a problem or a challenge that you've been dealing with, or it could even be that you get this idea of like, oh my God, I just need to have a conversation with this person. And that'll totally solidify every single thing that I've been feeling or doing or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about, because it's your body, your mind, your creativity. So feeling into what you want is that when an idea comes in, and even if you've got some ideas written down in your journal or you've got some ideas listed, when you get these ideas and you want the confidence to feel into something that you want, it's almost like you have to see it and experience it. And look, if you listen to, sorry, oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, sorry guys. Should have put my phone on silent, but I haven't. Actually, can you wait? I've actually got to text this person back. Just wait 2 seconds. By the way, if you haven't heard of Cat John, check her out. She just called me. All right, Kitty Cat, call you back in 20. Recording potty. Cool. Anyway, so if you haven't heard of Cat John, check her out. She's one of my mates. Look her up on my Instagram. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Yeah. So you want to feel into what you want. You want to see it. You want to experience it and have it. And if you haven't dived into this like world of podcasting and whatever, and you probably see it on Instagram and whatever, but all these like Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, all these thought leaders in this space that we're in, where we're looking to expand our life, they all talk about how you have to see what it is that you want. You have to feel it. You have to experience it, hold it, embrace it. But here's the clincher. This is the part where I've sort of gone wrong in the past, is that it's almost like I try and look into the future and I try and draw the future towards me, or I try and draw myself towards the future. But the real key to create confidence is that you have to see it in the present. You have to see it and hold it fucking now. And that is super challenging, but it takes a bit of practice. And everything takes practice, but that practice could only take you a day, 2 days. You just have to put in the time. That to feeling into what you want is to right now experience it, to right now feel it. For example, in my life right now, like as all of you probably know, me and Nick are, and we're trying to have a baby again, and we're both super excited about becoming parents and welcoming this beautiful little bubs into our life. But right now, she's not pregnant, and right now, we're not having a fucking baby, right? And so how do you hold it? How do you embrace it when it's not here? It all comes down to choosing to go into your imagination and to feel and to experience things now as they are. It's here. It's fucking rocking. It's in your belly. You feel the excitement. You feel the butterflies. And I reckon the only true way to really do that is either through automatic writing or journaling, or if you're good at it, sitting back, sitting down, nice comfortable seat, spine up nice and straight, not falling asleep, and just going into your mind's eye, going into imagination. Try it for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. But if you're not doing this, you're really doing yourself a disservice. It should be a daily fucking practice to go out there into the ether until you can do it in a way where you're holding it and you're feeling it and you're experiencing it in the fucking present moment. You're embracing it, and it's it's almost like, well, it's not almost, it's actually like you have it. It's here. It's fucking here. It's arrived. $1 million, $10 million, whatever dollars, it's arrived. Your favorite car. Well, no, fuck, that's bullshit. Not favorite car. That's bullshit. No, it's that idea has come to fruition. That light bulb moment. That moment that's in your journal, in your diary, whatever. It's fucking here. And you're feeling it. You got goosebumps on you because you're so excited. That's the thing. And then what I find is when you put yourself into the energy of confidence and you draw that energy in and you embrace it and you hold yourself in that energy, then whatever your idea is, it has no other option other than to gravitate towards you. And I've been practicing this shit non-stop. And it's fucking working. Like, it's really, really working. And I'm telling you this from my own experience, my own stuff that I've been doing. And it's so, so cool. Because some of the shit that I've been seeing coming in for me, I'm like, whoa, the fuck did that come from? How cool. So that's a first no-brainer. Feel into what you want, see it, experience it, have it, hold it, embrace it until it's actually like you have it. That's when, and you'll start to see things happen instantaneously. Second no-brainer. I'm always teaching my coaching clients the art of trusting the obvious and observing the obvious. Me included, guys. Like, even though I coach and do this shit, I'm telling you, when you learn how to observe the obvious, then it's so simple. Like, things become so simple, observing the obvious, because once you felt into it, and then you start getting these messages, or you start getting these clear little roads towards your ideas becoming an actual thing. And all you have to do is just observe the obvious. Oh, why don't you call Cock and Balls from fucking Cock and Balls Pty Ltd? And you just like, oh, surely it can't be that simple. Yes, it can. Observe the obvious. It's once you learn the art of observing the obvious, you sit back going, oh my God, why have I been doing it so hard lately? Or pretty much my whole entire life. Why have I been doing it so hard? It's just observe the obvious. Once you feel into it, once you embrace it, all you have to do next is observe the obvious. It's almost as simple as if let's say, I don't know, your shoes are falling apart, right? Your runners are falling apart. Observe the obvious. Get fucking new runners. It's pretty much exactly. And so the next part, all you have to do is, okay, cool, well, I've got to get new runners. So what am I going to do? I've got to look up what runners I want. What do they want? Make a short list. All right, top 2. Cool, I'll get that. I want to go to the shop, get the runners. Done. Observe the obvious. That's how simple creation is. Like, it actually isn't. And why is it that so often we go into this thing of like, oh, okay, cool, well, I'm going to have to pick this apart and fucking do this and do that, and oh my God, what about this? Just observe the obvious. That's it. Observe the obvious. Go for what's obvious. And if my clients, my coaching clients, got this in its entirety, I'd have nothing to teach them. It's so, everything is obvious. And this is a thing, we spend like thousands of dollars. It's not cheap to get a coach or to seek whatever. It's not fucking cheap. And I keep bumping my prices up and people keep paying it because they want to get to they want to fucking understand how they work. But this is a very simple way of looking at it. If you don't want to pay thousands for coaches and whatnot, then how about this? Just observe the fucking obvious. It is what it is. It's like, oh, but then when you observe the obvious, obviously, this is the next part of the process where obviously all this fear comes in and you're like, oh my God, what if they don't let me do this? Or what if I fuck it up and everyone laughs at me? What about my family? Oh my God, what if I lose all my money? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow, man, just, You're going way too deep into it. It doesn't need to be that complicated. Just observe the obvious, trust the obvious, and then go do the obvious. Anyway, this takes me to my next third no-brainer. Give it a fucking whirl. Number 3. So the first one is feel into what you want. See it, experience it, have it like it's actually here. Trust the obvious, observe the obvious, and then what are we going to do next? We're going to give it a whirl. So giving it a whirl doesn't mean that you have to put your whole life ass on end and break up your relationships and fucking tell your parents that you bloody, you know, you were whatever when you were a kid, they did this to you and that to you. And it doesn't, just give it a whirl. Go into it, give it a whirl. Trust the obvious. And once you trust the obvious and observe the obvious, then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to give this a whirl. Do it with the simplest things. The simplest things. Just give it a whirl. Get into it. It's like, okay, I'm going to call this person and see what they say. Take the appropriate action. What's actually stopping you? Like, seriously, it's a genuine question. What is actually stopping you? And I think if you answer that question in a conscious and intelligent way, you'll probably laugh at yourself. You probably will laugh at yourself because the excuses that you have for not giving it a whirl, the excuses that you have for not taking the appropriate action are absolute fucking bullshit. They are absolute bullshit. And you only have yourself to blame. If you're not doing the things that are obvious, these are no-brainers, guys. Like, and I might sound frustrated. Maybe I'm just frustrated at myself. Who knows? I just don't know. Right now, I don't know. But it's like, why wouldn't you? And I always think about this thing. It's like, if I'm at the end of my life, and I've said this before, but if I'm at the end of my life, if I look back at this moment and I don't give these things a whirl and I don't take the appropriate action, I know I will kick myself all the way to heaven. It's like, Tom, why? Why would you not do it? Just fucking go, dude. Like, who knows what's on the other end? You know what could be on the other end? If you give this a whirl, whatever your idea is or whatever this thing is, if you give it a whirl, if you observe the obvious, give it a whirl, you're in this energy of confidence. You're fucking getting it done, right? And if you do and get it done and it fucks up, who cares? Like, if it does fuck up, right, then the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to learn something. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. You're going to learn something really fucking cool. And once you learn that really cool thing about yourself, the next time you give things a whirl, you're going to move towards those whirlies with way more knowledge, and you probably won't do the same mistakes that you did this time. Best case scenario, the shit actually works out and you change the course of your whole entire life. Wow, even just saying that gives me fucking goosebumps. Like, that is so exciting. Imagine, you change the course of your whole life and you end up being in a situation, in a dynamic where you're kicking absolute butt, and all that needed to happen is you needed to feel into what you want, embrace it and hold it and fucking experience it like it's actually there. Then your intuition, your spirit, or your higher self, or whatever you want to call it, it just shows you the way. It's like, all right, well, you want that? This is where you go. Trust and observe the obvious. Next part, which is the final part, the no-brainer. Give it a whirl, take the appropriate action, and then sit back in your little chair and just watch it all unfold. So, that's me for today. It's absolute no-brainers, guys. And my bad. I don't even know why my bad. I think I said my bad because I just looked at the time. It's like 19 minutes, and I usually do it for longer. But I think it's just, this is what it is. Like, I just wanted to give you a little kick up the arse. 3 no-brainers for confidence in your out there ideas. and enjoy it. Like, enjoy the process as well. I mean, how cool is that? Like, actually, you're allowed to enjoy your creations. You're allowed to enjoy your ideas. Go for it. Love the fuck out of yourself. 3 no-brainers for confidence in your out there ideas. Feel into what you want. Trust and observe the obvious. And give it a whirl. Take the appropriate action. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Love you guts. Have an epic day. And don't just listen to this podcast and be like, oh, fuck yeah, that was all right. Do it. Get it done. Fucking love you. See you at the top, motherfucker.